Garden lighting for a DIY can be a minefield. Should you attempt mains hardwired? Is modern day solar man enough? Wow, I'm shocked at that. Or maybe there's an in-between that might just bridge the installation and performance gap. Well, today I'm going to install and test every single type to see which one works for you. Now, let's be honest, nobody really wants to install hardwired mains lighting in their garden. Because first of all, you might need an electrician, but even if you don't and you are going to give it a go yourself, there's still quite a lot to do, because the first thing you'll probably need is one of these, a weatherproof box on the wall with an armoured cable. That's a special cable that can't be cut by things like a spade, going into the bottom of it, feeding your lights. And with that comes certain regulations to follow, such as burying that armoured cable or having it exposed on the surface. And then we've got more cable for each light that'll all need connecting with things like T-junctions and glands, and it can be a lot of work for a DIYer. So if you don't want to go through all of that, what options does it leave you with? Is it solar? Because let's be honest, solar doesn't have a very good reputation. So I've bought these lights from Solar Centre to see if more premium solar lighting is really any good. Now, nothing in this video is sponsored. None of these brands even know I'm making it, but we are going to test them by using a light meter and really see if good solar lighting, supposedly, is up to the job. But maybe there's an alternative hybrid between solar and mains powered that we haven't looked at yet. Like this low voltage system that I picked up from a Lumiere. It still looks professional, it's never going to run out of solar, it's a simple plug-in and you don't need an electrician. To make this fair, we'll install both systems properly. I've got this bedded area down the side of my garden, especially this tree, that I want to light up. So for this bit of the garden, we'll install some spotlights in the trees, which should look really effective. And then on this side of the garden where this pathway is, I want to light that side up with some bollard lights. Again, we'll put the solar and the low voltage ones in so that they both get a fair test. Let's install the spotlights in the trees first. That'll give us a really nice effect. And the first bit of our Lumiere low voltage system is this starter kit, which has the 4 spotlights. This cost me £55. In the starter kit, you do get quite a lot for your money. You get 4 spotlights with bases and spikes, you get 10 meters of cable, you get the transformer, which we'll install first, some T-piece connectors and 3 shorter pieces of cable. The good thing I've found is once you get the starter kit, it's modular and you can add lots of lights to this system. I will put the prices to all these lights on the screen so you can see how much I paid for them and get a good idea of all the prices for everything in this video. Now, there's not a lot of room down here at the back of my workshop, but I have got this outdoor socket and I'm going to plug the transformer into this. And the transformer you get in the kit is IP67 and is designed to be left outside, so I'm going to fix that to the wall. Now I've got this on the wall, I'm going to install one of these little T-pieces that you get in the kit. You can buy more of these if you need them, because I want to take a bit of cable that way to the bollard lights and that way to the spotlights that we're now going to install. Now, all the connectors with this system have a little seal inside so that no water can get in. You just pop the little pins in and then we'll just do up the collar. That's nice and tight. And now that's on there, we can connect our first cable to it, which is where this 10-meter cable comes in that you get with a starter set. My first spotlight's going to go in this butterfly bush because I want to light that up and that'll look really good at night. And that 10 meters of cable, I'm going to bury that in the bark edging and pin it behind the shed, round the fence there, to the back of the workshop where the transformer is. I found the shortest route was along my edging here, and the good thing is we can hide the cable under bark, under stone, or we could dig it in the ground and put a bit of conduit in if we want. It's really flexible. Cable's well hidden and I've fed it to the first light location. One neat little feature with these Lumiere spotlights is you can slide the base plate off. These are good for screwing onto things. They've got little holes in them. You can screw these onto your deck or things like that. But for beds you want the spike. That just pops on the bottom, and now we've got a spike that we can pop into the border. You can tighten and loosen the light and just adjust the angle of it, because you want the spotlights to shine up into the trees and not into your eyes, so positioning is important. And then I use the T-piece to go off to the next spotlight, and then I hide the cable with the bark chippings. So that first one should shine nicely on that tree. Now you get 1 meter extensions with the kit, so we can take an extension across to the next light. But if you need more length for your project, you can buy 10 meter and 5 meter extensions, and you can just join them all together to get the length that you need. And this is where one downside of the kit comes in. You can only have 50 meters of cable and up to 18 lights per transformer. So that might be worth considering as its biggest limitation if you've got a much larger garden. So using extensions, we've got 3 lights in. One lighting up the butterfly bush, one down here lighting up this tree, and one down here in the corner lighting up this tree. I've used about 25 meters of cable, which should leave me enough to go down this side for the bollards. But before we do the bollards, let's install the solar spotlights and see how easy they are and how long they take. Now that's that's easy and it doesn't take too long. It's very much plug and play, but it's still going to take you half an hour to an hour to install those. So let's see what the solar's like in comparison. Now, when we open up a lot of these solar type of kits, you find the quality's poor. I wonder what the quality is going to be like on a slightly more expensive kit like this one. The lights themselves, the quality doesn't look too bad, but they do look very small. You get a couple of lights in each kit and a couple of spikes, but this is the key. You actually get a standalone solar panel. A lot of these solar type lights look horrible because they have the panel on top of the light, which makes them really big. And the other downside is you've got multiple solar panels to clean, because you do have to keep these panels clean to keep them performing pretty well. The other problem is you have to place these in a south facing location. Now that can be tricky up against the fence, but because you get 4.5 meters of cable between each light, we might stand a chance of doing it. We might be able to get this in a good south facing location, and that might help us later in the video when we actually test them. Now you get this little solar panel bracket, so you can mount the solar panel up high where it'll get lots of light. You can put them in the floor, but of course it'll get more light if you can put the panel up high. So I'm just going to use a couple of screws to screw this to the fence. The panel then slides straight onto the bracket, and you'll see I left a slight angle on the panel because I want water to run off it. And now we can pop the spotlight into the ground on the spike. I've just run the cable along the top of the fence there, and you can see they're just little quick connectors, and I've tucked it in along the side of my fence post so that you can't see it. So that is our solar spotlight system installed next to the Illuminaire low voltage ones. Now what we're going to do is get onto them bollard lights and go and install the bollards the other side of the garden. But before we do that, if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe because then you won't miss them, and hit like because that allows this video to reach and help more people. Now before we install these, let's have a look at both types of post lights. Of course these are the low voltage ones and these are solar, but interestingly they do have a USB backup. For me, I think that sounds a little bit inconvenient. I'm not really going to be taking the top off my light every day and charging it up with a USB. But I do like this idea of an additional solar panel that you can deploy on a shady day in the winter. That is what that's designed for. I wonder if it's actually going to make a difference. But just like the spotlights, and unlike a lot of cheaper solar systems, I do like the quality of this bollard, and I do like the spike and base system that they supply with it, that you can screw onto hard surfaces or spike into the ground. And if the features work, they might actually be a really good light. I'm going to install the solar ones before I do the low voltage ones, just to mix it up a bit. So I've taken the spike and base plate out of the light because it's an easier way to install it. I'm installing them in this gravel here because I don't want to drill into my nice new resin. You can, instead of the spikes, of course, drill and mount these on a hard surface. And all I'm going to do, a bit of wood on the top so I stand less of a chance of damaging it. And we should be able to hit the spike in. They're looking pretty good. We've got all three in there now. Now they say to give them 3 days of charge once you've installed them so that they get a boost and they'll work properly. So we will do exactly that to give them the best chance of performing as they say on the box, because let's be honest, most solar lights don't. So in the meantime, let's install the low voltage bollard lights next to them. So of course the solar ones were really quick to install, but let's have a look at the Illuminaire low voltage system bollards. They actually look really smart as well. They're black rather than anthracite. Of course you've got the cable that we can connect into our existing system, so this should be nice and easy to do. They're a slightly smaller unit. The light itself is the same size. It's got a nice removable base, and of course we could screw that onto something hard through the little holes that they give you. But if, like me, the base doesn't work for you, you do get a metal spike included in the box, but it didn't take long to realise that that's not really going to work either. The spikes do not work in gravel. They might work in grass, but they're rubbish for this, so I'm going to have to think of a slightly different approach for this. I've got an off-cut of block that I'm going to use to weight down the light instead of actually fixing it in the ground, because the problem with fixing it, if I cement it or something like that, I won't be able to move it again, whereas this is nice and heavy. So after marking the 3 holes, I'm just going to pop through a 6mm drill bit, followed by 3 decent quality plugs. And then I'm going to use some A2 stainless screws, because being modular, if I ever want to move this and the screw heads are rotten, that could be trickier. So A2 stainless screws should do the job nicely. Now I'll lay my off-cut of concrete block into the edging and get it nice and level, before screwing the bollard light back onto the base plate and then covering it in with stone. There we go, that's much better. Now I've just got to hide the cables in the stone. You can see the cable. I've actually started to connect it all up. I'm just going to pop that in the stone now so we can't see it, and then we'll do some testing. Our solar lights will work automatically and turn on when it gets dark and turn off again when it's not. But the Illumiere system works on an inline photocell that goes in just before our lights. That activates the lights when it gets dark, and then there's a 4 and 6 hour timer for it to turn off again. So in about half an hour it's going to get dark, and we're going to see what result we get from both systems and find out which one we're keeping. But before that happens, how much did these systems actually cost me? You can see there's not a huge amount of difference between the two systems. Well, that's actually more money. In my opinion, the winner of the price test is actually Illumiere, because I think you get more for your money. And I found the cheapest place to get this was not actually online for a change, it was in my local Wickes. But let's be honest, if either of these setups don't live up to our expectations, then none of that really matters. And out of the first two kits, the first ones to come on are the Illumieres. It's only just starting to get dark out here, and they obviously come on a little bit before the solar, because the solar's not come on yet. You can see the trees are starting to light up as well, and it's not even that dark, and they're already starting to look really good. 20 minutes have gone by and the solar lights have just decided to join the party, so they are definitely a little bit later to come on than the Illumieres. Now you tell me at a first glance, which one do you prefer? The solar lights can be switched on to a warm light. At the moment they're on a cool light. I'll switch them over now because when we do the test we want it to be fair. But I think we can already see, without the lux meter, which one of those is brighter. But I'll let it get a little darker, then we'll come back with a lux meter. Now it's just gone 10 p.m. You can just about make out the moon through the trees somewhere up there, and it looks a little bit lighter than it is on this camera because we've got a specialist lens and some specialist camera equipment so that you can actually see me, but it is quite dark out here. Now the Illumiere system is off for now. We'll turn that on a little bit later once we've tested these ones, but let's get the lux meter out and see how these perform. I've got a tape measure set out on the ground, and already I'm at 600 millimeters and we're not actually getting any reading on the lux meter. Let's see when it starts to actually read some light. There we go. And at 400 millimeters, the lux meter is actually only reading 6.1. Now, as I mentioned, these have been installed for 3 days. There's been a 3-day gap, and I did turn them on once last night to test to see if they maintained brightness throughout the night. Now, they were still lit up at a really good brightness level at 1:30 this morning. So I'm actually quite impressed. Compared to cheap solar, they do actually seem to maintain their brightness. I've picked a point on the tree and I've popped the lux meter on that point. We'll use the same point when we test the Illumieres, but that's reading about 162, 163, 164. I've turned the solar off. The low voltage Illumieres are now on. You can see them there, and you can see it's clearly a lot brighter out here, but let's measure them with a lux meter and see how they compare. The low voltage Illumiere is already reading a considerable amount more. At the same distance, that is reading 95. That's a lot more light coming in, and it's the same result with the spotlights. Look at the difference. Both the Illumiere spots and bollards clearly put out a lot more light than the solar ones, and it's made the garden look great. The pathways look amazing and the trees are lit up and make a nice feature. So after all what we've done, I'd invest in the Illumiere system. It gives us the best performance bang for buck. It's really modular and it's easy to install, which is probably the best thing about it. But remember, that's just my personal opinion. I've not been sponsored by any of these brands, so do you think I've got it right, or is there a better alternative? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you want to see more garden projects, click one of these. I'll see you in the next one.